नहमदु व नसल्ली अला रसूल करीम औज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम रब्बि इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मा रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मा रब्बि ज़िदनी इल्मन नाफ़िया. Dear respected colleagues, scholars as well as students of the Department of Commerce, as you are aware of the fact that commerce education in the University of Kashmir completed 50 years of education in 2020. That was 2 years before. But because of COVID in 2020, as well as in 2021, we could not conduct any of the functions in these 2 years. Then we at the departmental level decided that we should conduct these celebrations this year. So we have already delineated a series of activities which will be conducted here in the department under the aegis of Golden Jubilee celebrations. It's a matter of pleasure as well as a matter of highest honor that in first of its activities we have Professor Abdul Matoo with us. Professor Abdul Matoo has been the founder head of the Department of Commerce. He headed this department in 1970 up to 1978. That is 8 years. After that, he again headed this department from 1980 to 1991. So he is the longest serving head of the department of this department. So we have the privilege that he is with us. He has been the teacher of teachers, the mentor of mentors. He has produced us. All the faculty members, most of the faculty members which are here with us, right from Professor Sangmi to Professor Rashid Saab, to Professor Nazir Ahmad Nazir Saab, to Dr. Parvez Ahmad Shah Saab, to many others who he has been, well, I forgot there, I'm sorry, I forgot, Professor Riyaz Saab, Professor Mushtaq Saab. He has been the teacher, the mentor. And it is, in a way, credit goes to him that he has nurtured us, that we have been, now at this university, we have been teaching, disseminating education, helping scholars in their researches. It is because of the mentorship, because of the headship, he has been there. When we were here as students, he was the head of the department. We cannot forget those days, those years. Professor Matoo Saab, we have now this MCOM program which you started. This program is now elsewhere in different colleges. And I remember, let me tell you to the members here, that during his times, it was apart from MCOM that he started programs like office management, programs like diploma in marketing management, programs like, postgraduate diploma in, business administration. And then we were at this department, we were the coaching agency or coaching center for ICWN as well as company secretaryship. That was during his regime. So his contributions are immeasurable, very, very huge. And then we have invited him on this occasion to interact with you because we would like to trace the history. Because whenever you trace the history, I'm telling you particularly to the scholars as well as the students, that you should always capture the history where from we originated, where we are presently, and where we are headed towards. So this is very important function. I even, I thought that let us capture this moment. Even I told the MMRC people to capture this event when Matoo Saab will be speaking, so that this remains as a, part of our history, that today Professor Matoo Saab is with us. With these words, let me not stand between you and Professor Matoo Saab. I invite you to Professor Matoo Saab's talk. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon to all the students and staff and rest of the members. The concept of commerce education was totally absent, not in the whole state, but only in the Kashmir division. Jammu had a Rajput College of Commerce, but in Kashmir we had no commerce. There was no concept at all. People would laugh at me when somebody would ask me, "What have you done?" I said, "I have done M.Com." "What is that?" "Will you be a munshi?" "What will you be?" "I don't know what I will be, but I have done this." So it was a strange thing. And one more feather to my cap, and I am grateful to the Almighty God. I am the first Muslim who got M.Com without B.Com. I was not a B.Com student at all. I had done my simple graduation in arts, but with mathematics and economics. When I applied to Aligarh University, I would like to give you something of my own self. My admission was rejected on the basis that I was not eligible because I had not passed a B.Com examination. I applied to Lucknow. The Muslims in general would only prefer Aligarh, or second choice was the Lucknow. When there was no place left, I had a hunch. I don't know why, how. I wrote a simple postcard, used to be there at that time, to the registrar of Allahabad University. I still remember vividly, and he replied, I received his reply, "We will be glad to see you admitted in the Department of Commerce in Allahabad University." There was a lot of jubilation. No Muslim had been there till then. I was the first to do M.Com without having a commerce background. The Allahabad University took plea that since you have done your graduation with mathematics, that was known as the honors at that time, double course mathematics, plus economics, and then statistics. This is what is commerce. You see, Allahabad University was a pioneer in spreading the commerce education in the country as a whole. That has produced stalwarts. Take statistics, take Ilhans, take accountancy, Dr. Yana Agarwala, Dr. Alhans, Dr. Mishra, so many professors, eminent people. They said, it is as good as B.Com, fair enough. You have a weakness in the accountancy section, you improve upon that. And it was a challenge for me. I did it. I was granted admission and I did it. I did accountancy, basic accountancy, then advanced accountancy, and the rest there was nothing. Economics and statistics, insurance and transport, things like that. So after completing my M.Com, there was no job for me because there was no market. There was no competition at all. But they said, what is the utility of this? Tell me. People were unaware about the concept of commerce education. Anyway, there is a different part of the story, how I got an appointment first in the State Financial Corporation. That was the first corporation to be incorporated in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, J&K State Financial Corporation. I was a probationary officer. My immediate boss was a Bengali, Mr. Chatterjee. He groomed me, sent me to Chandigarh and Delhi for further training. I received training for about a year, and on my return, I was appointed as Secretary J&K State Financial Corporation. Soon after serving the corporation for nearly 4 years, I left it, and a post was advertised in Jammu University. There was only one university at that time, Jammu and Kashmir University. And subsequently, the Vice Chancellor would move for 6 months during winter to Jammu and the Registrar's office, not in full. The Registrar himself, there was only one deputy registrar. So Jammu had a sub-office. So gradually, the University Act was amended. 2 divisions were created, Jammu Division and Kashmir Division, with 2 pro-vice chancellors. Mukhtar Sahab, the late Mukhtar Sahab, who died in the plane crash, became the first pro-vice chancellor of Kashmir University. And Dr. J.N. Ban, who was my head of the department when I was recruited as a lecturer in Commerce Department in Jammu Division. So I served Jammu University. I am one of the founders of that department along with Dr. N.S. Gupta, Dr. Mishra, 3 of us. It was one department. We were merged with the economics department. So economics and commerce was one department under the headship of Professor J.N. Ban, who eventually retired as the Vice Chancellor of Jammu and Kashmir University. And after that, the 2 separate Universities Act was formulated, and University of Kashmir came into existence and University of Jammu came into existence. But luckily, a clause was kept in the Act that whosoever belongs to Srinagar, Kashmir Division, and he is serving in Jammu Division, if he or she wants to shift to Srinagar, he can apply, and under proper arrangement he can be transferred, and vice versa. So taking advantage of that clause, I applied and I was taken as a lecturer and given the task of establishing the department. It was a challenging task. But I had served as a lecturer in commerce, in the Department of Economics and Commerce in Jammu University, then Jammu Division, and later on the Jammu University. Finally, I was transferred in 1974, 70, yes, around that. There were vacations. I had come on vacations. June, July, August, I still remember very vividly. And I got a call from the university that we will transfer you. We need you here. I was immensely thrilled to get this news. And I was given the task to start the Department of Commerce. More than 52 years ago. Single person and 2 peons and 1 office assistant. Then we had no place to sit. Professor B.D. Sharma was the then head of the Department of Economics. He had been transferred from Jammu University to Kashmir University, and he knew me from there. He gave me tremendous support, moral as well as material support. He said, don't worry, space I will give you. Lecture theatres I will give you. You will sit in my room, we will share. Your office assistants will sit with my office assistants. And we will devise the timetable in such a way, such a manner, that there will be no clash. You will take first, then you will take afternoon, or you take in the afternoon, we will take in the vice versa. So that was the arrangement. There was no place to sit exactly. You can't believe it. It is unbelievable. This administrative block, it was not occupied by the administration at all. One part of it. There was the examination, there was the library which you see today, Maulana Azhar Library, kya naam hai iska? Allama Iqbal Library. It was not there. It was housed there only in the administrative wing. And economics department, Department of Education, Dr. Aga Ashraf, Department of History, and then came my department. And then we had a small exchange, telephone exchange, manual. They were operating also from there, one of the rooms. And there was a little space left in the corridor. It was occupied from right and left, and going to the field, entering from the main entrance from the administration side, going to the left, right. And that space was used as a cycle shed. The teachers, the professors would come on cycles and park the cycle in that place. It was decided that this will be partitioned. A door, only one door was to be fixed. They did it. And a room was created for the head of the Department of Commerce. This is how I began the journey of this department. Classes we shared. And then, it's not only the question of infrastructure, the concept of commerce education. And meanwhile, during this period, Islamia College of Science and Commerce had been established. Hardly 3 or 4 years back. Because the first batch who did their BCom, they came to Jammu University and some went to Aligarh University. Mr. Yunus, Professor Yunus Kaur, and many, I don't remember their names, some of them. Hamid Saab, yes, Shok Saab, Azi Altaf, yes. First batch. Anyway, so the twin task of establishing the department and spreading the concept of commerce education. And the boost was given by the establishment of the Islamic College. Now the people are turning out. So the university felt the desire and the necessity of establishing the master's degree in the commerce discipline as well. So commerce was then being realized now, though late, that it is a discipline, just like science, arts, social sciences. So it was slowly and gradually accepted by the people as a separate discipline. So my task was to spreading the commerce education, of course from the top, and then, establishing the infrastructure. So operating from one small room, we manage it, and today, Alhamdulillah, you have such a magnificent building, beautiful classrooms, every type of facility, audio, visual, whatever, you name it and you have it now. And then, along with the MCOM, I was somehow driven by the passion that we must do something. I started diploma courses. I started diploma in business administration, DBA. It was so popular that we had to run it in the evenings. Then I started diploma in marketing management. And not only that, the government, in its wisdom, thought that we need the company secretaries. As MCOM was something novel, similarly, the company secretary was something new, unheard of. People never knew that a company should have a qualified company secretary. Of course, a company which has a certain amount of investment must necessarily should have a qualified secretary, one who has passed the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. So that took me to Delhi, to Calcutta. I had virtually, it's not praising myself, it was all God's doings. His ways are mysterious, we never knew. God's ways are mysterious. I would hardly be available to my family. Just for 2 or 3 hours, the rest of my time would go in making these departments. The Public Service Commission, in its wisdom, thought that instead of sending these boys outside the state, why not to train them here? We will give grants to the university, tell them that you coach these students. So the task was given to me. I accepted it. And a small room was given to me. University had a building at that time, a rented building in Polo View, where Dr. Ali Jan's clinic used to be. I don't know if you have ever seen that place or not. But Polo View you must be knowing, very famous place. There's a bungalow, old-fashioned bungalow. In that house, one room was given to me, and one was given to Mrs. Nagpal. Nagpal is the man who founded the institute. He is the founder of the institute, of medical institute. His wife was a French. She started the language courses, German, French, foreign language, Department of Foreign Language. And she was the in-charge head, and I was the in-charge head of the Commerce Department. Later on, as lecturer head, as reader head, as professor head. Then I worked in various spheres, the administration, as registrar, as vice chancellor, as dean, as controller. So many facets of my life that way, but the biggest contribution, which will go for centuries, is this department. So I am really thankful to you all. I shared some of my personal experiences to you. This department has done a tremendous and is doing a tremendous work. We have produced chairman of boards, Zuhur Sab, even present chairperson, my MPhil student, Miss Veena Panta. She did her MPhil under me. She is the chairperson of J&K State Board of School Education, the only organization which has not been bifurcated so far. So there are many people who retired MDs, managing directors, commissioners. So this has produced potential people, worthy people, and we are proud of it. And I am proud of you and proud of my colleagues, my junior colleagues. Now the reins are in their hands. They should not rest their oars. That's not the story. It's not the complete. After achieving this success up to during these 52 years, now our aim and objective should be for excellence. Work for excellence. I would like to see during my lifetime, inshallah, this as one of the famous management institutes in the country, as you have in Ahmedabad, as you have in Bombay, as you have in Calcutta, as you have in Delhi. That's my ambition, that's my wish. And we have to work, all of us, whether you are students, you are scholars, or you are the faculty members. So it's our joint responsibility to make an endeavor to take it to the excellence. We have covered journey up to this. Now it has a checkered history. We have seen peaks and troughs, highs and lows. It has weathered all the storm. But now the time has come when we should strive for excellence, the best. Because now it is an age where the commoner and the average people have no place to live. Absolutely, they have no place to live. You have to show your mettle. You have to prove your worth. And you have to work hard for excellence. No shortcuts, no quick fixes for that. Only this struggle and constant struggle. Keep on going, whether you are students, you are teachers. Don't allow grass to grow under your feet. No, don't be complacent. Strive. Today you are student, you are scholar, tomorrow you will be in the department or somewhere else holding the responsible positions, facing challenges. So you should be having competency and enough of knowledge to tackle with the problem. So we have achieved this goal, now we will achieve for excellence. I wish and pray to Almighty Allah that I should live to see that day when I will learn that this department, this faculty has earned an national and international character. I once again thank you all, dear students,